Getting a mechanical can really slow down a ride, but it can be so bad sometimes it'll ruin it.
Oh mate, Neil, I hate that, yeah.
So this is how to avoid the most common mechanical problems. I reckon there's a huge amount of mechanicals that could have been avoided if you checked your bike over before you went for the ride. Things like buckled wheels because you've got loose spokes. Have you ever seen an axle come out? I've seen a rear axle come out and it writes off the bike, rear mech, everything breaks, rear wheel. So give your bike regular checks. M check is the best place to start. So working in an M shape on the bike, starting at your front wheel, whatever's keeping it in there. I've got a Maxle, nice and tight. Pick the wheel up, squeeze the spokes together, shouldn't move too much. M shape, up to your bars, nothing really should come loose on there, but I do give them a push-pull. Down to your pedals, give them a wobble, give the cranks a wobble. Up to your seat, do the same. Back to the rear wheel, axle and rear spokes. They're the ones that often come loose. Then it's a good idea to give actually your bike a full bolt check. I do this pretty regularly. Full suspension bikes, sometimes pivots do come loose, maybe worth Loctiting. Sometimes your rear mech can come loose.
Even though the M check is super crucial when it comes to just bolt checking your bike before going for a ride, but it does come to a point where you do actually need to get the toolbox out, some lubricants out, and just give a good once over your bike just to make sure it's running super smoothly for your next ride. Like even changing your sealant in your tires is key because that can help stop you from getting a puncture. Now I've learned the hard way. I've gone for a ride and I thought, hey, you know, I've got all the sealant I got in there. That's gonna be fine. End up getting a puncture, looking inside and it's bone dry. So just changing those levels in your tires can help you eliminate punctures.
A broken rear mech, ooh, it's devastating. It's expensive. It can ruin your back wheel. It's just a bit of a nightmare really. And often it can be down to the rear mech not being set up right in the first place. So definitely check your limit screws because if you miss shift and your limit screws aren't set right, they can go into the spokes and it's game over. You can either break the mech, break the hanger, whatever. I do like to try and carry a spare hanger or keep one in my car at most times, just in case, because also you need to make sure it's straight. Even if you whack your mech on an obstacle, if your hanger's then a little bit bent or the mech's a little bit bent, that's when it can overshift and go into spokes as well. So keep an eye on it, make sure it's nice and straight. Change your hanger if it does get bent. You can always straighten up the old one, keep that as a spare. And the other thing for causing rear mechs to break is actually riding on rocky trails and hitting that rear mech into obstacles because they do stick out, what, a couple of inches. You do have to be a bit careful. And sometimes you can use some skills to pick up the rear wheel to get that rear mech away from the danger.
Sometimes the easiest way to stop you from getting a puncture on the trail is just putting a little bit more tire pressure in your tires. It's gonna not give you that much grip, but hey, you're gonna have less punctures out there. Right, smoothing out your skills on the trail can help you eliminate punctures as well. But if you're a heavy rider or an aggressive rider, then think about running a thicker compound tire, maybe a downhill tire, or even so, putting an insert into those tires that you have. That will help a lot.
Keeping your chain clean and well lubed should help it not snap as well. But a major cause for this is crunching the gears. So I've definitely done this before. Try and plan your riding so you're shifting all the time and you're in the right gear so you don't all of a sudden have to crunch through 3 gears under lots of power because that can snap a chain pretty easily.
Buckled wheels, well, that's the most common one because that's someone that's not actually looking at their spokes, tensioning them up, because if you get a loose spoke, it's super easy to get that wheel out of true.
Blake, what's the most common mechanical you've ever had?
Neil, I think it's got to be my wheels and my gears.
Buckling wheels, doing 360s?
Doing all sorts of nasty things just loving the rear wheel.
Have you ever like pringled one totally where you land and it just goes, ah?
Yes, yep, I have. You know what a wise man said to me? It's always lock tight your nipples, Neil.
That's an old downhill trick, that is.
That is, yeah. Do you know who that wise man was?
That was me.
That was you, Neil, yes. Yeah.
I think punctures. I wonder how many punctures I've had in my lifetime. Too many.
Too many.
I'm not smooth enough. If you want to see a video on how to become smoother, up there for that one.
Yeah, don't forget to hit that globe to subscribe because you're missing out.
Hit that bell down there as well for notifications when a new video comes up.
Yep.
Thumbs up!
Thumbs up!